Today I'm going to share with you a recipe for no yeast, no oven naan. And to start off, you're going to just take 2 cups of all-purpose flour and to it add a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, mix it well. In the middle of it, just make a small well where you're going to add in your yogurt, about 4 heaped teaspoons or 4 tablespoons of yogurt. And to it, you're going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda and just kind of stir it into the yogurt without first mixing it into the flour mixture. Allow it to sit for about a minute. You can do this while you heat up your water or your milk, a quarter cup, for about 30 seconds in the microwave. You will come back to see that the yogurt has started reacting with the baking soda. Now add 2 teaspoons of oil to the edges of the flour. Once all the ingredients are in, you can go ahead and start mixing it in and forming it into a dough. Initially, I start off with a spoon, but I find it's best to just go right in there with my clean hands and start kneading it well. The more you knead, the better. I would suggest kneading it for at least 10 minutes. You'll end up with a nice, soft, smooth dough. You can take some oil on your hands and just coat the dough ball with that little bit extra oil and then cover up your bowl in which you're going to let this dough rest for at least a half an hour to an hour. Unlike a yeast recipe which requires a good bit of rising time, this one is a much faster recipe. The end result is also very soft and smooth. So as you can see here, I'm kneading it well. Initially the dough will seem sticky, but as you do it, it's going to unstick from your fingers. Everything is going to come off and come together. I would suggest not dumping in all the water or the milk all at once. Do a little bit at a time as you feel is necessary. Otherwise, if you have too much water, you might need to add more flour in. I find that taking the dough out and kneading it on a flatter surface instead of in a bowl is much easier. And so the dough has been resting for half an hour to an hour. As you can see, it's risen slightly. I'll take it out and start dividing it up. This recipe makes about 8 naans. From those 8 portions, you can take out and roll it out on a flat surface. If you notice, I'm not adding any flour. I find it easier to roll without dusting of any flour. It tends not to curl back on itself that much. And I'm not going for a circular shape, but rather a oblong oval shape. Heat up your pan fairly well. You do not need to add any oil to it. And then place your rolled out naan on top of it. The heat is about medium high at this point. You're going to start seeing bubbles on top. You can lift to see if the bottom has browned or not. You're looking for a golden brown with some brown spots. And just keep an eye out on your naan. You want it cooked from both sides, obviously. After about 3 minutes or so, once the bottom has cooked, you are going to go ahead and, with the help of tongs, lay it directly on top of the flame. And you'll see that it'll start to puff up a little bit. This process is going to go fairly fast, so make sure your naan does not burn and keep turning it, because as you can see, it's getting grill marks too and lovely brown spots. As soon as you take it out, you can brush some melted butter, or in my case, I just rubbed a stick of butter over it. And your naan is ready to be eaten and enjoyed. Here's one more. And you can always serve up your naan with some shawarma or any favorite curry. And to keep them warm, I place them in a bread basket and covered up. Enjoy this delicious, soft naan, very easy to make.